in Philly, they booed Santa Claus the one year. You know what I mean? Like,
It's unbelievable.
so
Yeah,
in
that's a
Philly, the
whole different
Bluebirds
breed.
come out. But I
Yeah.
tell you what, they had a lot to cheer about, though, bro.
And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Yeah.
Boom! Coming in hot, Casey, on a Monday. What's up, brother?
What's up? Casey's on a road. Casey is rocking out MLB Network. You probably should have. You saw him yesterday on there. You're here all week for this wacky divisional round series, and we saw some action yesterday, dude.
Big time action, man. And I tell you what, there's nothing better than postseason baseball, for real. I mean, it's just the electricity in the air is real. And when the players talk after the game, they're like, "Wow, did you feel that?" It's a feeling. It's so different. So it's like a drug. It's a drug for players. To get to the postseason is a drug for players. I was reading something with Jeff Weaver. He's like, "I signed back with the Yankees for 1 year, $2 million, just because I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I actually want to feel like what it's like to go to the postseason." That's what he said. And now they got him for Jeff. They got Luke Weaver. They got Luke Weaver for a $2.5 million option next year. Was a no brainer.
Dude,
Jeez.
no brainer. He is locked in, and he's got he has that edge. He's such a sweet, chill guy. But he even said it in his post game the other day, like that dude has that edge. We got so much to talk about with all these teams, but let's start with on the field. We'll start with on the field. We're gonna get to the fans later, but this Dodgers Padres series is hot fire, dude.
It's hot, dude. You could feel it in the last couple of years when the Padres started getting good. You could feel the Dodgers Padres and the rivalry was real. Like a couple bench clears. I mean these teams do not like each other, and we really saw it last night. But I tell you what, more than that, on the baseball side, Yu Darvish came out and dominated. I mean, absolute domination. Came out there 7 innings. I think he gave up 3 hits. Man, he was as advertised, and seeing him go against Otani was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Tatis came out banging again. You know what I mean? Tatis, Jackson Merrill, Machado, the lineup it's showing us. Bogey went deep. It's just showing us how legit they are. Because I really believe when AJ Preller at the deadline went out and got that bullpen help that he needed, especially a guy like Tanner Scott too from the Marlins, that team started becoming different. And they were locking games down. So, I mean, Michael King is going to be going for them game 3. And, that's a great best case scenario of them being 1-1 out of LA, going back home in San Diego with Michael King going game 3. The Padres look good. And they could have won game 1 too. They had a couple spots where they weren't able to put that game away. But you watch the Padres change. This is a good ball club, man. If there's anybody that can knock off the Dodgers, it's the Padres.
Yeah, and when they get a start like that, Yu Darvish, first of all, he threw 7 different pitches yesterday. 7 different types of pitches. He has different variations on his breaking balls that are just astounding. When you get a good start from a Padres pitcher with that lineup and that bullpen, at their best, they might be the best team in baseball. I mean, now, that being said, the Dodgers are no slouches either. And these two teams, if this were the regular season of a 4-game series, there would be a fight by game 3. I mean, they can't fight, but I think that's where we're looking with these two squads.
Dude, how about when Betts hit that ball in the stands and Profar makes an unbelievable play, goes in the stands, but then he taunts the fans, starts backing up like he didn't catch it, and the fans are like, and it was just a cool moment. And then he threw it in, but he riled up, he riled up the dogs out there in left field. But it was it was an incredible catch, dude. It was an incredible catch, and it was just such a cool moment because it would have tied the game. Who knows where the momentum swings there, being at a tie game at 1-1. But man, it was just you're right, bro. There's some bad blood now. Machado was yelling at Flaherty. Flaherty hit Tatis. You know what I mean? And then Machado's yelling at Flaherty, and they had already had some history earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Where Flaherty punched out Machado, and Flaherty was yelling at him. So it's great, dude. But that's good. It should be. They're both in the NL West. They play each other all the time. the Padres are sick and tired of being kicked around by the Dodgers when the Dodgers have been kicking them around. Now they're feeling like, you know what, it's our time. You kind of feel that from the Padres, don't you? A little bit like,
Oh,
it's our
100%.
time now. And you look at that rotation. I mean, Musgrove got hurt, which isn't great. Dylan Cease didn't pitch great in game one, but you still got Dylan Cease, you got Darvish, and you got King. That's enough. A three-headed monster right there with that bullpen and that lineup is enough to beat the Dodgers.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing we got to talk about, and I got to ask you this. So Manny Machado gathers the team after all the chaos that ensued with the again, we're going to get to the fans and stuff, but he gathers a team together and has like that little team meeting before they get back on the field. I know, talking to all you guys that played the game and being in a locker room, and there's a fine line between like kind of being kind of like a dork by doing that and being the leader to gather the team around. And it was like Big Papi did it, remember, a few years ago. Manny Machado does it yesterday, and you heard like Jeter and A-Rod and those guys talking to Machado after, like they were so proud of his maturity as a leader. Like he hit that fine line perfectly yesterday, and Manny Machado is now the leader, clearly, of that Padres
Manny
team.
Machado is the leader. I mean, even when Tatis went down, you know, Machado's the guy. He posts every day. He plays every day. You know what you're getting from him. He's going to play a Gold Glove defense. His bat's one of the best in baseball. That's why they gave him that $300 million contract. And I tell you what, like yesterday, when they hit Tatis, who was the guy chirping, you know, from third base, chirping at Flaherty in the dugout, was Machado. Basically saying, like, that's good, dude. We're not going to take that. And, you know, let sleeping dogs lie, too, because they hit 4 home runs. After that, all that chaos. We haven't even talked about the fan in left field. You know, those fans got a little unruly, and somebody threw a ball right past Profar, which, dude, at the end of the day, this is baseball. Like, fans, you know, you got to be able to take a breath, too, just like players do. Slow down and realize this is a game. This is a game. Those guys are out there. They're entertainers. You know what I mean? They're trying to show off their athleticism so you can love the game and enjoy the game. Someone's got to win. Someone's got to lose. But, like, throwing things at players and, like, you know, that's not okay. Like, that needs to be cleaned up. I thought the umpires did a great job getting the guys off the field for a second, taking a second to think, you know, get security out there to left field. But I think there's going to have to be more presence of security, you know, at some point, because you just can't have that, dude. You can't have.
Yeah, you can't.
That's not. Okay.
You can't. And I'll stay with the fan stuff. Like, and don't baseball fans be better. Be better. You know, there's some people that don't take their kids to NFL games anymore in some stadiums because it's just not a good experience for little kids. Don't be like that. I want to be able to bring a 5-year-old to a game and not be scared that he's going to see something. We saw as we move on to the Mets and the Phillies fans. There were Phillies fans that were booing when Brandon Nimmo wasn't hurt when he got up in that collision in the outfield yesterday. Like, come on, guys, clean it up, okay? But that's just my message to the fans.
In Philly, they booed Santa Claus the 1 year. You know what I mean? Like,
it's unbelievable.
No,
Yeah,
Philly,
a whole
the
different
boobers
breed.
come out, you know. But I tell you what, they had a lot to cheer about, though, bro.
They did.
I mean,
what a game.
You want to talk about a game. I mean, Severino, Christopher Sanchez pitched great, too. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. The only hiccup was the Vientos, who's locked in right now. He hit that took that changeup, I believe, to right center. Great piece of hitting. And then, but Severino was great, too, for 6 innings. Severino was a little weird, though, in that 6th. Don't you think he started going to his fastball a little more? I almost felt like he was like trying to blow the ball by people and just get out of the 6th, and he kind of lost command. And then Harper clipped him for that 2-run homer dead center, and then Castellanos tied it on the hanging sweeper. But he did great too. Severino 6 innings, 3 runs. But you got to give it to the Phillies, dude, because that crowd at the bank. You were talking about home field advantage. That crowd was silent. They started booing the Phillies, and then all of a sudden, Harper with the 2-run bomb and gets the crowd going when he crosses home plate, and then Castellanos ties it, and obviously it turned out to be Castellanos' game with the couple big hits that he had, and then the game winner in the 9th. But what a game, dude! I mean, you were talking about literally a Rocky Balboa type stuff out there in Philly, just blow for blow, shot for shot, for 9 innings.
Yeah, I think these two teams it's scary how well they're matched up with each other. Like, it's punch counterpunch. It's like It's like Rocky and Apollo at the end of the first one where they hit each other at the exact same time. It's really who's going to have more shots. Somebody said, who was it? I think it was Matty V on their post-game show. It was pretty cool line. He was like, if they had kept playing this game, each team I think was going to score until somebody just like fell asleep because they were just that evenly matched. And I got to say it, man. Two great managers, this is a really cool matchup, and the National League Series are up in the air right now.
It's great. It's great baseball. It's great baseball. And dude, you got to give Mark Vientos some credit here. I mean, he goes 2-run homer early, and then he hits that home run in the ninth with 1 out in the ninth off Strom on a fastball at his neck. Gets on top of it, skies one to left. And if you go back and look at Mark Vientos' story, dude, the guy got sent out, didn't make the team out of spring training, was in the minors for most of April, and then got called up. And I think Carlos Mendoza kind of gave him the, hey, man, you're my guy. Go out and do it. I think him and Brett Beatty were kind of going back and forth. And Vientos really won that job. But, dude, where would the Mets be without Mark Vientos? He had 27 home runs this year, hit almost 300, drove in a ton of big runs. And has been doing it all postseason. Did it again, in game 2. They obviously came up a little short, but without him, that ball game is not even close. And another big thing for the Mets is, Alonso going to right center, another home run for him. That's huge. And also Lindor's right in the middle of all of it. Had the one hit, Vientos homered. Next time he got a hit in the ninth, Vientos homered. So the Mets have to feel good. If you told the Mets you're going to split 1-1 and head back to Citi Field, I guarantee you, without playing games, they'd take it. They would have taken it. To split with the Phillies at the bank 1-1 on your way back to Citi Field is a great thing. But I'll tell you what, the Phillies really, really came alive in game 2. They really did, man. And Bryson Stott with that huge, huge hit, and that triple into the corner, to put them up a couple runs was, a big hit on his birthday, 27th birthday.
Yeah, that was really cool too. There's a picture of him and his mom after the game, and she's like, "Happy birthday, son!" I'm like, "Geez, what a birthday!" and how proud is that mom? Yeah. Now let's flip it over to the AL Tale of Two series right now. We'll start with the Guardians. Guardians punched, they declawed the Tigers in that game. It was just a quick shot right off the top, and that game was almost over before it started.
The Guardians came out. I mean, talk about layoff. They didn't even want to hear it. They came out. Lane Thomas hit him with a 3-run bomb early. Josh, these guys can hit, man. They that lineup. Stephen Kwan got the party started with a leadoff double. Then all hell broke loose. Next thing it was 5-0. Before the Tigers could blink. And also too, that's one thing we have to look at, because I know with the Tigers we're like, hey, man, these guys got the best bullpen in the game. Skubal, and then they got whoever. Well, I'd like to see if that really, when you only have one really legit starter. Obviously, the other guy they had was Jack Flaherty, who went to the Dodgers at the break. You only have one really legit starter, and you're really relying on your bullpen to carry you every game. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out this postseason for the Tigers.
Case, what's that lid you got on right there?
Dude, you kidding me? It's my favorite hat. You know me, Chinch. I'm a hat snob, dude. I really am. This is my new melon hat. I've had it for a few months now, dude. It's incredible. It's super comfortable. The one thing I love about it, too, sometimes you wear hats all the time. They get those sweat stains. This hat doesn't get a sweat stain. It's got unbelievable comfort fitting. It fits perfectly with the snapback on the back. 5 times more durable, I think, than any other hat I've ever had. So, man, this hat's incredible. The melon hat, man. You got to get a couple of these, brother.
Yeah, dude, I've heard about them. It's like the most premium, durable headwear in like the whole world. And people use them for tailgating, working out on a golf course. You're going golfing later today, heading out for date night with Sarah. You throw the melon cap on, right?
Yeah,
Am I right?
I wear it for everything, dude. The only thing I can't wear it to is premium restaurants where they're like, okay, you got to take your hat off. So other than that, I'm wearing my melon hat pretty much everywhere. Dude, it's my new favorite hat. I've been wearing my melon hat for the past few months straight, dude. No sweat stains, what I said, no smell. Looks the same as the day I took it out of the box. I get a ton of compliments on it every time I wear it. It's even better. They have different options for different weather. If it's warm out or you might be jumping in the pool, lake, or ocean, you need their Hydro Collection, bro. The Hydro Collection is next level, Chinch. You'd love that. But when it gets cold and you need to stay warm, don't worry, brother. Melon has you covered there as well. They have a full thermal collection with different levels of warmth to keep you on whatever you need for when the winter's coming up, brother. Big time.
Nice.
So if you're looking for hats as tough as you, my man, check out Melon. you won't wear anything else after you get one on for yourself. And I know I've been loving my melon.
Yeah, listen to Sean Casey, folks. If you're looking for the world's most durable hat, look no further. Go to melon.com. That's MELIN.com and put it to the test yourself.
Yes.
No, I agree with that. And I think it was Smoltz made a good point in during his game. He's like, listen, they always talk about you don't want to go 3 times through the lineup as a starter. Well, if you get into trouble in these series, it's almost like you're doing that to your relievers because this one reliever comes in by game 3 or 4 in a huge spot. You're in the 7th inning, and Sean Casey's facing the same guy that he's faced in every 7th inning for 4 games.
Well, dude, they say that's what's happening in the minor leagues now. The minor leagues I think they're playing teams like 6 games in a row at the same place. What they're finding as the series goes on, they're like, the weapons aren't there anymore because like you've seen this guy every single night. So that's a good point. I mean, the relievers are nasty because you might see them in a 3-game series. You might see them one time. You know what I mean? Maybe 1 or 2 times in a situation where you're like, oh, man, I can't tell you how many times I've faced a nasty reliever. I'm like, if I could just get one more at bat against him, give me one more at bat and I'm going to lock in on him. Well, when you get a team like the Tigers that relies so heavily on their bullpen, you're going to have that moment where you're going to face that guy. Oh, man, game 4? This is the 3rd time I faced this guy. Let's go. Now I got him. You know what I mean? So that's definitely going to be a factor. That's a great point by Smoltz right there.
Yeah. And then we flip over to I will say the Yankees won a game despite looking like the team where the layoff affected them the most. Does that make sense?
No doubt. The layoff definitely affected the Yankees. I mean, obviously Glaber with a big 2-run homer early, but they just looked a little sloppy, and the offense looked a little slow. But the greatest thing is when you have that layoff, what hurts you is that game 1. You don't want to lose game 1 because you're like, oh, man, now we're going to get going, but we lost the game because of the layoff. The Yankees finding a way to pull out that game and win 6-5 is so huge because you know Judge's going to get going. You know Soto's going to get going. You know the middle of that lineup's going to get going. So for them to just pull off that, I mean, the Royals basically wanted to give it to them. Like, yeah, we'll just walk 8 guys and play sloppy and we'll still lose 6-5. So you got to give the Yankees credit. Sometimes you got to win dirty. That was a dirty win for them. Just like, it was, a little yucky here and there, but doesn't matter. Whatever it takes, you got the W. It's like in an NFL game when you got to, you win 3-0 or 6-3. You got to win dirty sometimes.
Yeah, a win is a win. A win is a win. And the 2 biggest storylines that came out of that was, 1, good job putting Verdugo in the outfield.
Huge.
First of all, made a huge play and got big hits. And then second is the controversy with the replay at second base. I don't think it was as one side. I do think there was a little discrepancy there, but the Royals clearly were really, really unhappy with that.
What do you think? Did you think he was out? We're talking about the Jazz Chisholm steal, right? The review, like a 5-minute review.
Yeah, exactly. I still think he was probably out, but I still here's when I think a replay's tough and its play is tough. When you're looking at a 2-dimensional TV screen and everybody's like this, and you're trying to look around your TV screen to get the best angle when you're watching it, because you know what I mean? Everybody does that. It's like, oh wait, I'm going to turn and see a third dimension on the side of my
I just need this angle. If I can get around my TV set and get this angle, I'm in business.
Yeah, exactly. So I say when you have to do that on a replay, then the call can go either way.
No, you're right. But dude, they do have more camera angles, I believe, in New York, where they're doing that. They don't just have the TV angles. They have 3 or 4 or 5, 20 angles, something ridiculous. So,
right.
Who knows?
Yeah, that's a good point. But I do say, again, I don't think, look, did that decide the game? No. I think at the end of the day, I think the Royals, if you played better, you would have beaten the Yankees that game. So I don't love the excuse of the replay. After the game, they were saying, we were playing the Yankees and we were playing a replay booth. I don't love that call. I don't love saying that even. I would just say
I agree. At the end of the day, there's not one play that beats you or loses you a game. You know what I mean? I always felt that way too. Like if I felt bad, I punched out or somebody punched out, back in the day, and they would be depressed. I'm like, dude, listen, it's not your punch out in the ninth is the reason we lost. We had bases loaded in the third with no outs. We couldn't get anybody in. That we could say that. We could say in the fifth we had two guys on, couldn't get them in. Like it's not that one out in the ninth. It's just more glaring. The later the game goes on, the plays are more glaring.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so let's do a preview real quick. You got Skubal and Boyd in the Tigers Guardians game, and you got Riggins and Rodon in the Royals and the Yankees. What's your handicapping on those two
if
matchups?
the Tigers ever needed to lean on Skubal, it's today. I mean, they got to get it 1-1 to head back to Detroit. You do not. I think if a team goes down 2-0, it's like 31 of 33 teams have won. So it's like you're almost guaranteed you're going to lose if you go down 2-0. So,
Right.
so Skubal's got to be Skubal today. The Tigers offense has got to jump on, but it's a good matchup for them. Has got to jump on Boyd. It's funny too because Boyd and Skubal were pretty good buddies back in the day with the Tigers. So it'll be a good matchup. They're good friends, but so Tigers need Skubal to be Skubal today and dominate to get 1-1 back to Detroit. And then, the Yankees, Rodon has been really good. They need him to be really good tonight, too. No doubt about it. Cole Reagans, obviously has had a great year, too. Big strikeout guy. So if they've ever needed a big start tonight, the Royals need Reagans to be huge. Because, like I said, you don't want to go back to Kansas City down 2-0 to the Yankees. That series will be over.
No sirree, Bob. All right, and we got big ones going. Big one's going tomorrow, but we're going to preview those later. What show are you on today?
I got the show after the what's the first game? Tigers and Indians. The Tigers Guardians.
Yeah, we're looking at
Tigers Guardians.
4:08.
I'm on
All
after
right.
that in the wheel show. So tune in. It's gonna be pretty cool too. It's me, Yonder Alonso, Adnan, and Matt Carpenter's joining us from the Cardinals.
Oh,
Yeah, so that'd be
that's
cool.
sick.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have Matt on. Yeah.
All right, Case, have fun. Everybody tune into the network after each game. Nobody does it better. And then me and Casey are here all week going nuts for you.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Really appreciate it, and hope you're as fired up as we are about playoff time. Let's get it. All right, Chidge. Love you, brother. I'll see you tomorrow. See everybody tomorrow. Thanks.